Hello everyone, welcome to 2023. This is going to be a better year for me, I'm sure. Last year was a very testing time, but that's another story. Today I'm going to show you my complex Loopy Pro setup. It's actually been a while since I've used this, so I may forget certain things, so I'll be discovering stuff as I go. But this program is hands down the best looping app. It's a lot more capable than a lot of hardware loopers as well, because you can customize and do pretty much anything that you want depending on the iPad Pro you're using, or iPad you're using, or iPhone. In this case, this is an iPad Pro M1, so it's pretty capable, and I've got a lot of stuff in the background going on. So let's just start from somewhere. I don't know where. So I have got Cello. Now, how I got that was in this program here. Is that the Cello? Yep. Cello Delicate. That's actually, how did I do that? I could have used Machine, or I could have used, maybe AudioLayer might actually do this. No, there's another app. Sorry. Versin, is it? I might leave a comment below to tell you how I did that. But I basically sampled from my VST contact instrument. It's called Emotional Cello. And I think I've got Emotional Violin as well. I mean, that alone is $350 AU plugin, and it's top quality. Very nice sounding, and the fact that I can access that on my iPad is, for me, and probably a lot of other people, game changing. Now, if I press this button, this is the Launchpad Pro Mark II, well, the new one anyway, as of 2023. It's quite a capable little Ableton push style MIDI controller. I can MIDI learn from Loopy and make these buttons down here do different things. So in this case, when I hold down device, it takes me to page D, and then when I can set piano, which is actually another contact instrument called Unichord, I think. Really nice felt piano. Now, if I wanted to record that, I've got that track selected. I can move that left or right by those buttons. Now I've just memorized this myself, up and down. So when I press Capture MIDI, well, that records audio as well. I can just press that. That. If I don't like that, start from scratch, press clear all. Now I've got this duplicate button that activates this Vox hi-hat, so I can go, and it's recorded that, and I can go to whatever track I want and start playing piano. Let's say I want to choose a bass sound, hit device. Where's my bass? Bass, that'll do. Now I've got this button here that activates the reverb MIDI, which means any sort of MIDI sounds, the reverb only applies to that and not my vocals or my guitar. And now, I don't know if I'll plug in my guitar. I've got bias effects as well, which I can just plug in my guitar. I've got a little audio interface. It says Centrance Mixer Face R4 glued onto the side of this little table, and then that's accessed via the USB hub on the side of the iPad. So I've got two inputs. I can plug this microphone here in, which is a Shure something or other, WX30 I think, WH30 maybe, a microphone and a guitar input, but I don't know if I'll do the guitar today. So what have I got here? Now, when I press custom, I've got a drum kit on here, which I've also sampled from Easy Drummer. So it's like velocity layered, which is not many apps give you that ability to have different velocity layers within a hit. Good drum kit, good tabla. And then I got a few different drum kits. Sounds that I'll probably never use up there. I don't know what I've done there. This row here selects my drum tracks, so I can press play. That, and I can choose another instrument over that. Get back to note, hit device, Glock, why not? Get some bass happening. Doo-doo. Now how I did that, I showed you on my last video with my iPhone how when I hit blue, any blue track, so I would have put it under blue group settings, follow actions. Now it does all these different things. It presses bass on something, bass, I don't know where that bass button is. That's for my guitar, that's what that is. It's a preset. Enable Tone Stack Pro. Tone Stack Pro has the bass octave pedal in it, and turns on Tone Stack Pro. What? To enable Tone Stack Pros. That's weird. Anyway, and then when I finish recording, it turns that off basically, and turns the reverb back to a certain level that I like it. So just with one click of the button, it turns all that stuff on and turns it off, so you don't have to press any other button. Pretty cool. Now, let's get some other things going. got a, when I do that, it actually activates this clip here. I don't know why that isn't actually tapping. It's probably just not tappable, but it activates that white noise and gives a low pass over it as well. I had it set up better last time that it didn't actually end, so I don't know what's going on there. I feel like it needs to loop. Maybe that's... Problem with having so many options with Loopy is that you have ideas and you just add all these crazy things, options, effects, whatever, and then if you don't use your setup in a while, you forget what happens, what needs to happen. It's stopping there, but I'm not going to take the time to figure it. I'm not going to figure that out now. Couldn't be bothered. But anyway, another button I've got is pass to any of those. Hit this button here to return everything back to 0. When I hit this D and B merge up, I press that and it basically merges these tracks to just have the drum and the bass. And then I could go back to this Fire 4. Took me a while to set up. Now where it stops for a few counts, then hits play again, and back to like it's your part A, part B kind of thing. Very handy. Now over here I've got Auto Tune, which I can hold down that button, and I've got E minor selected. That should be correct. So I can add vocal reverb, see what I did there? I can turn that up, and then if I hit that button, it returns it to 0. But also, if I hold that button, it gives me a bit of reverb just for that little bit, just for how long I touch it. I got vocal stutter, which I can go, and I have this is an interesting one, Vocoder, which I can control over here, and yeah. Yeah, baby, come on with me, baby. We can go a little crazy, lazy, hazy day. Smokes in the room, fill up the room with a hot dog smoke. Yeah, interesting one. I can hold down that vocoder and it comes up with how the vocoder works. Voice synth. And I've got it set up to source as Launchpad Pro MIDI in, and yeah, gives you that ability to do where to go. Interesting things happen sometimes. Maybe that crashed. Hold that down. Exit. Just gotta remember to do everything. Gotta remember to do everything right. Yeah. So that's a pretty cool function. I've got vocal delay, which is, I can't remember. So, go on over to, a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of work has gone behind this template. If you've got any questions, comment below, and I'm more than happy steering you in the right direction of how I actually did this, because if I showed you everything how I did this video would just be an hour long or two. Kajita I use for a delay, not for that one that I showed you before, but that's a really cool delay. Got a bit of reverb in that as well. Dubstation 2 gives me the ability to, I think I've got dotted, 1/8 dotted. I love that dotted sound. And I've got Altiza Fac. Oh, go away, Fred. He always comes up sometimes. I don't want to deal with you, Fred. Let's just play. So that's a really good sounding reverb. And I've got a voice stack, is it? So if I go over here and show you all my plugins that I've got on the vocals. Popsicle multi-effects processor, I don't use that much. That was a bit of an experiment. I use Tornado as well. ToneStack Pro is how I get the bass effect, the big octave pedal there. And I've got a bit of compression, a bit of equalizer, and a little bit of compression on my vocals as well. So, what else have I got? ToneStack Pro. Where is that? ToneStack Pro. That there. Voice rack effects, sorry. Gives me the ability to do some funny things with my vocals. Let's turn that auto tune off. And vocal effects. So that just lowers my voice. Let me just mute that one there. So it's only the dry signal. Deeper voice, thicker voice, and it's just lowers it just a little bit. And megaphone and church harmony, which doesn't seem to sound like much at all. I don't know why. Megaphone, church harmony doesn't seem to be doing much at all. Church harmony doesn't work, so don't worry about it. Now I was messing around like Beardy Man style with like some weird effects. Weird effects is weird effects. I don't know what that's actually doing, if it's doing anything at all. I can't remember how I did that, and too much to remember. So I don't know if this is giving you any inspiration at all. Over here I've got delay. My vocals seem louder now. Why is that? This changes the delay timing over there. What else have I got? I've got some synth sounds as well, and that's what am I using? SM2. Can't remember what else I'm using. So if I go to device, I can, down here I've got and that took me a while to figure out because I had to go oops, I have to hold that down. behind that, whenever I press any of them, it hits the preset on the synthesizer, Synth Master 2 that is actually. It unmutes that, and it mutes the AudioLayer, which is the piano and all the organic, natural sounding instruments. So otherwise you'd have two going at the same time. So that took me a little bit to figure out. And let's do that. So that's Synth Master 2 there. And it's kind of cool because I have the ability to go give a little bit of a tweak. So very powerful, the fact that you can do all this in one looping setup. What else to show you? What did that record? Because the orange ones are for vocals. I forgot about. Sitting in a room by myself all alone on Christmas Day, unwrapping your own presents that you gave yourself with your own money. That's pretty boring. I feel sorry for you. Both at the same time, so that's obviously haven't. So that's another thing that I obviously haven't done right. I have to go to that nylon and add. It's been a while since I've done this. I've got to mute. So mute the Synth Master 2 now when I press the nylon button. So all the work that you have to put into. That's about it, eh? Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you get some sort of inspiration from this, or I hope you just don't get heaps confused and go, whoa, how do I do that? But takes some commitment and time, and it is a bit of a rabbit hole learning curve, and you've got to use a very algorithm type part of your mind and figure, okay, if I do that, that means I have to do that to unmute this and that, because I'm pressing that button. That gets confused, and yeah, and the big question is it stable? My answer is not 100%. It has froze live, so this is the risk you take, and because I'm got so many things going on in the background, it's using quite a bit of CPU, 31%. And it's spiked up to 41% at one point there, so which is pretty good. It's pretty good, very capable. So thank you for watching. I don't know why I said it like that. See ya.